Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Katrina and I'm the owner of Cariad Creative, where I help small business owners get to grips with their website and marketing their business online. So today I'm going to be taking you through a quick start to Divi to help you get started with designing your website. So after installing Divi on your website, the first thing you want to do is set up the API. This allows you to get the updates that Divi released, which contribute towards the functionality and the security of your website. So it's really important that you get this set up first and foremost. So you want to go into Divi, log into your members area, and then under accounts at the top, go to username and API key. And in there, you'll be able to generate an API key, which you can then copy. And then back into the dashboard of WordPress. On the left hand side, you'll see Divi towards the bottom. Click on that and that will open up the Divi theme options. And then under the updates tab, you'll see username, which you'll need to put the username that you use to create your Divi account with, and then the API key that you just copied. So paste that into there and then click Save Changes. And that's done. So that will mean that every time that Divi releases an update, you'll get a notification up here. And then that will just mean that you can run the update on your website. Without the API key, you're not going to get those updates. So just make sure that you've installed your API key on your site first. So once that's done, you can now start setting up the website ready for you to start designing your pages. So we're going to stay within the Divi theme options and then go under General. And the first thing that you can do is upload your logo. So you want to go to upload here. So I've got a few images already in my media library, but if you don't, you can upload some files here and then select files from your computer. So I'm going to just choose my logo here. Just be mindful of the size of the image that you're uploading. You don't want it to be a massive image, so just make sure that it's been sized correctly for your website. And then set as logo here. And then click Save Changes. And that's your logo uploaded. The next thing you can change are your colours. So you may have colours for your branding that you want to make sure are on your website. So here you've got the default colour palette that Divi pre-install for you, but you can change these. So that will just mean that when you go to change colours within your pages that you're designing, these colours are just going to be readily available for you to choose. So I'm just going to change one of them just to show you. So that's one of my branding colours, and then you can go through and change these colours in here as well, any of these colours, so that you can just choose your branding colours quickly and easily, and then click Save Changes. Something else that you can change are your social media icons. So by default, all of these icons here are set to enabled, but obviously you may not have all of these social media platforms for your business, so you can just disable whichever ones that you don't have. So if you don't have an RSS feed, you can turn that off. If you don't have Twitter, you can turn that off, and so forth. And then to add your URLs, you can just come down here and you can see Facebook profile URL. So just delete the hashtag and then just put in the link to your social media page, and then you can go through and do all the others that you have and then click Save Changes. So that's that done. The other thing that you may want to change are your fonts. So you can change the fonts within the theme customizer. So you need to go back under Divi on the left hand side and go to theme customizer here, and that will open up the WordPress customizer, and you want to go under general settings and then typography, and these are all the settings to just change the fonts within your website. So as you can see, the default theme font is set for the header font and for the body font, and you can just go in and make those changes, and you can see it happening live there. Just move this out of the way. And then you've got your body font as well. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of fonts that are pre-installed onto the website already, so you can just pick whichever one that you want. So I'm just going to choose Lato. It's quite a popular body font to choose, and again you can see that changing there. Another thing that you can change is the link color. So this is when you've got hyperlinks within your pages. So if you're linking to another page or another website, you can change the color that shows when it's underlined. And this is where you're changing the colors come in handy, because as you can see, the color that I uploaded before is there, and I can just choose that, and that's already set up there. And you can also change the body text color and the header text color as well, but I'm just going to leave them as they are. And just make sure that you click publish, because a lot of people forget to do this. Just make sure that you click the blue publish button, and that will save the changes on your website. And the other thing that you can change are your text sizes. So for the body text, you may want to change that to a slightly bigger size. I always recommend at least 16 for body text. So I'll just set it to 18 just so you can just see the size of that. And then you might want to change the header text size as well to slightly bigger, but you can play around with this in here just to see what best suits your website. And then again, click the publish button. So that's kind of like the basics all set up for you to start designing your website pages. So now I'm going to show you how you can go in and start creating pages on Divi. So you just come up here, and then down the left hand side you'll see pages, and then add new. So you want to add your title of your page, and then underneath here you'll see use Divi Builder. The default editor is just a WordPress editor, but because you're using Divi, you're going to want to use the Divi Builder, so you want to click onto that. So as you can see, you've got 3 options, and you've got build from scratch, choose a pre-made layout, or clone an existing page. I'm going to take you through each one of these just so you can see how each one works, and then you can decide which one best suits you, whichever one that you want to choose from. So I'm going to choose build from scratch to begin with. Now, Divi is built using sections, rows, and modules. So I'm just going to close this so I can just show you quickly. So as you can see, that the main structure is the section here. So blue is for sections. So as you can see, there's a cog here, and that will change the settings of that particular section that you can build within. So for example, if you wanted to change the background of that setting, you can go in and change the colors. And again, my color is here that I chose before, and that just changes the color of the background. So you can choose all the different colors here, or if there's a particular color that you want, you can click the cog there and you can add in your hex code in here. But I'm just going to choose the one that I preloaded before, and then click the green tick button there. Now, then you can come in and start adding rows. So green are for rows, and you can just click the green plus button there. And as you can see, as it came up before, you can choose the different row sections. So if you wanted 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, and that will just set up the columns if you wanted. So for example, if you wanted text on the left-hand side and an image on the right-hand side, you could choose this section here. So I'll do that for now to show you. So as you can see, now that's created 2 rows to me here, and then inside each row you can add modules, and this is basically the content of your website. So in here you've got lots of different modules that you can choose from that's already pre-installed into Divi. So for example, if I wanted to add some text, and then that will bring up a box to change the settings in here, so I can change the content of the text. It's already got the placeholder text there, so I can delete that and add any new content in there that I wanted to add. I'm just going to add some more in just so it just shows you a bit more text. And you can change some of the settings in here as well of your text. So if you wanted that to be a different color or a different size, you can change the settings. There's two ways you can change the design aspect of your module. So this is the content up here, and then you can also change the design up here. So if you click into design, and then you'll come down and you'll see text here, and then you can change the settings in here. So you've got the actual font, the colors, and also the sizing as well. So if I wanted to make it a bit bigger, I can change that. Or if I wanted to make the text a different color, I can change the colors as well to whatever I wanted to. Now, sometimes you may not be too sure of what section or what part of the module that you're editing. So a good way to do it is if you hover over the part that you want to edit, you'll see a little blue paintbrush. And if you click on there, that will automatically open up the section in the design tab of where you can edit it. So that's a really good tip, that if you just hover over the section that you want to edit, and you can click that, and it will just open up the design section in here. And then you can just, again, it just opens up the same thing I had before, but it just makes it a bit easier for you and a lot quicker as well. So once you're happy with how that looks, then click the tick button there, and then you can move on to the next module here. So if you want to add a picture next to it, for example, I can just click on add a new module there, and then add in an image. You can scroll through and find it. And then it's going to open up the settings for the image. And again, if you hover over the image over here, this is just the placeholder image, and find the cog. Anything that you want to change, if you hover over it and you'll find the cog, that will change, that will open up the settings for it. So again, that will open up my media library, and I can just choose an image, or again, I can just upload an image if it's not in my media library already. So I'm just gonna pick this image and then upload image, and there's your image already in there. And then I'm going to click save changes. So there's my image. So I've got some text there and an image there, and if I wanted to add something else underneath it, I can just add in another module under this row. So this row will just keep going down and down and down. So if you hover over different areas, you can see that a plus sign will appear, and this means that you can add another module or another row here or another section here. So if I wanted to add another module, I can click there, and that will add another module underneath that text. So for example, if I wanted to add a button, I'll open up the settings, and that will create a button there, so you can change what you wanted to say, and then you need to add the link for it to actually start showing. So if I add in my link here, and because of the colors that will automatically set to, I need to go into the design and then find button, and then it will ask you if you want to use custom styling for buttons. So it will automatically, by default, as you can see here, have certain settings, and then you can just click into here, and that will open up the design section for the button, and you can just change some of the settings in there as well. So again, you can change the size, text size of the button. You can make it really big. And then you can change that to there, and then you can change the colors, and also the background as well. So if I wanted to make that white, there you go, and that will just change some of the settings in there, and then click save changes. So that's how you can start adding in modules and creating the page from scratch. And again, if you wanted to add the next section in, you can go into here and add a new section. You're 9 times out of 10 going to want the regular option, and then you start again and you start adding in your rows and then your modules, however you want, and you can start building your page that way. Now, if this seems a bit overwhelming and you're thinking, there's no way that I can do this, then I'd probably recommend that you choose the pre-made layout option, which I will show you now. So once you've kind of set everything up here, just make sure that you go down to this purple button down here and click publish. And then this will also save everything. So once you've clicked publish, you'll also need to make sure that this is saved every time that you make some changes in here, just so that it actually goes live actually on the website, because until you've clicked save, that isn't going to save anything that you do. So if I've added all of this in, I will just make sure that I click save down here. So go into the purple button there and click save. So to change how you set up a page using the pre-made layouts, I'm going to go to new page. And then, so put my title in and then use Divi Builder. And then I'm going to choose a pre-made layout. And that is going to show me all of the pre-made layouts that Divi have, and there are literally thousands. So 1,447 layouts in total and 196 layout packs. And they are all set up in categories depending on industries. And you can scroll through, as you can see, there are loads, and this gets updated weekly with new layout packs available for different businesses, different layouts, so you can choose whichever layout that you like the look of. So have a look around and see which layout might suit you best. So I'm just going to choose one here. So I'm just going to choose design agency. And so when you click into there, you'll see all the pages that have been pre-made within that style of website. So for example, you've got the about page, you've got the blog, case studies, home, landing page, all different options in there. So if you just choose whichever page that you want to use, so I'm going to create a home page, so click on there and use layout, and that will load up that layout onto your page, and that just makes the design process a lot easier for you, because the structure is already there and you just need to go in and change font, colours, copy, pictures, however you want the website to look and feel for your branding then. So as you can see, everything is there, so you can go in and make some changes. So for example, again, if I wanted to change this, so if I wanted to say creative web agency, I can go in and change there. And also as well, there's if you wanted just to change it, it's called Inline Editing. So you can literally just click on the section that you wanted to change and change what it says actually in there. So yeah, so that's called Inline Editing. And then if you wanted to change some of the colours and the pictures, if you click onto the row, so again, so this is the section, and then you've created 2 rows in here. So you can go into the cog here, and as you can see, you've got the 2 columns there, and each column's got its own settings. So for example, so the first column will be this one, and you can click into the cog there, and then you can go in and edit things like the background. So if you wanted to add a different color background, so if you wanted to add your branding colors in there, you can click on there, and that will change the color of the background to suit your branding. And then you can click on there, and that will change that. So again, if you wanted to change the picture, if you're working on the picture as well, you can go back in and just change that column and go into background. So at the top here, you'll see some different tabs. So this one would be color. So if you wanted just another color to maybe match that color or a contrasting color. You can go in and add colors here. This one is a gradient. This one is for pictures, and this one is for videos. So depending on what you wanted to include in the background. So for this one, it's an image, and again, you hover over it, and as the cog, you can go in and it will open up your media library. So I'm just going to choose this picture again. Don't think it's going to be big enough though, but yeah, so it will change the picture in this section here, and then you just click Save Changes, and that will change how your layout looks, and you can start customizing it to suit your website. And that may be a better option for you if you're just starting out and you just want something that's a bit easier to manage than trying to build a page from scratch. And this helps you to kind of get a jump start on things. And again, you can scroll down and you can start changing some of the different options in here. So for example, if I wanted to change this, again, you hover over it and click on the module settings cog, and you can start changing. So again, if I wanted to change this icon, and as I said, if you're not sure where to go and change these design settings, you just find that blue paintbrush and then click on there, and that will open up the design option for you. So if I don't like the yellow color, I can just change that to my branding colors, and then scroll down and it will give me some different options as well for changing the style of that image or icon. If you want to change the actual icon, so again, that will come under content. So this is the design, so how it looks. So the content you'd want to change. So in here, you go into the content tab, and then you've got image and icon there, and you just drop that down, and then you can change the icon to whatever you want it to be. So if I wanted to change it to that, I can just select that icon. There's lots of different icons that you can choose from depending on what you want to say and what you want it to represent. And also as well, you can go in and add links to it. So there's lots of different options in there. So this would come under the content because that's actually like what it actually is. But to change the look of it, so like colors and sizing, it's all under the design. So you can just click into there. And if I want to change that, so again, that's the design of it. So if I want to change the font, the sizing, the color, everything's under design. But if I want to change the content and what it says, I need to go into the content and then go under text, and it will be into there. So once that's done, click the green tick. And then, as I said before, you need to come into this button down here and then click publish, and then keep saving it as you go through, just to make sure that you don't lose anything as you go. So that's how you would create a page using the pre-made layouts. And so the other one was cloning a page you already have. So I'm going to show you that. So again, go into page new. So if I wanted to create an about page, so again, I'd put my title in and use Divi Builder. And then I want to go into clone an existing page. So this is really helpful if you have already designed a page and you want to use the layout again. Everything, all the settings are in there. So for example, if we just use that pre-made layout one, and I wanted to kind of keep a lot of the elements but just change some of the fonts and some of the text, and some of the images, then I can just clone that page. So everything is there, and I can then just go in and change it. So if I wanted to change what that says, and I wanted to change and say, I can change that into there like that. And what happens is that this doesn't change The other page, it's a completely separate page, so whatever you change in here isn't going to change in there. It's just a quick way of cloning a page and just creating another page using a similar layout as before. So once you've made all your changes, click publish, and again, save as you go along. And so that's really how you create pages for your website using the Divi Builder. I hope you found this useful. And if you have any questions, then please feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. You can also choose to join my free Facebook group where I share more tips and advice on website design and marketing, and also talk about WordPress and also Divi, and I will leave the link in the comments below. And I will see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.